Staff announcement, there is a spillage in aisle 9. It is a level 4 spillage, so rubber gloves, face masks and oxygen tanks, please. Once again, staff announcement, there is a level 4 spillage in aisle 9. To our valued customers, remember it's Bleach and Lye Thursday here at Norman's Hypermart. 50% off all bleach and lye-based cleaning products. You can find them all on aisle 9, but you might want to give it a minute. Another staff announcement just in. Could a member of staff please report to aisle 9 and bring 3 ambulances? And to our valued customers, don't forget to check out our mind-boggling meal deals, especially as it's Crowley time.
Hello, and welcome to Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley. With me, Tom Crowley. We are often told that it's important for us to love ourselves. As drag industrial complex boss RuPaul famously said, if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else? This attitude seems a thoroughly modern one, with similar entreaties screamed at us daily from social media, self-help books, adverts for things you put on your face, and listlessly recited podcast adverts for dubious online therapy services, who have yet to offer to sponsor this program, but never mind, it's fine. Across the board, the message seems to be that we must all remind ourselves that despite our flaws, we are all actually great and lovable dudes, so that as more contented, self-assured people, we can then more effectively and more responsibly express that affection outward to other people. However, crucially, it could be argued that one of the best ways for a person to feel good about themselves is through interacting and forging mutually respectful relationships with other people. It could even be considered dangerous to turn your lens entirely inward and put pressure on yourself to find love and validation in there, especially if it's at the expense of opening yourself up to others. But, on the other hand, it's also unhealthy to seek happiness entirely from external sources, including the approval of other people. Perhaps the real lesson is to ensure that you find a healthy balance of both, or don't worry too much about either. To be entirely honest with you, I haven't got the slightest idea. And I'm happy to admit that. Not one clue. I'm not a psychologist or any type of analyst, unless you count my canny analysis of the human experience as expressed through comic exchanges. And I don't. No, what I do is make jokes about willies and things that happen in shops. If I've had a challenging month, both. When it comes to mental health, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And perhaps that's the best thing we can do for our collective emotional well-being. Admit it when we're talking entirely out of our arses. Absolute shite. Enjoy the show! Presenting Fengar the Brave of the Winding Valley, Queen Aeolia of the Mountain Folk. At last we meet again.
Bold Fengar, it does my heart good to see you.
May I approach the throne?
You may.
Ha!
My, but you look fatigued. Was your journey arduous?
Somewhat, Your Majesty, but there were no mountain trolls nor firehawks that I couldn't handle.
So cocksure. Truly you haven't changed since our last meeting. Thank you for braving the journey here to the mountain capital.
It is not often that I meet the force I cannot best in combat. So when Lord Valar's guard had me at a disadvantage, and you and your archers came to my aid, I was grateful to say the least. I told you then, if I could ever be of any use to you or the mountain folk, you need only summon me, and I would attend. And that is a vow I will hold to until the shroud of night at last envelops me.
Evidently you are a man of your word, brave Fengar.
On that you may rely, my queen.
What a rare pleasure to meet such a man.
Indeed. But enough flattery. It is the syrup that slows a man's wit. With what may I assist you, lady?
Yes, to business. The task at hand is no mean feat, and will require all your reserves of strength.
Fear not, my queen. No matter how daunting the challenge, my every breath is at your...
Can you open this?
This?
Yes. I can't open it.
This jar of pickles?
Yes. I tried to loosen it with this knife.
Is that the crystal dagger of Utratham?
Yes, but it didn't work. The lid's on too tight. Can you have a go?
What? Okay. Oh, yes, that is on tight.
See?
Hang on. Oh, there we go.
Brilliant. Thanks.
Not at all. Is that it?
Yes, you can go now. Unless you want a pickle.
No, thank you. I don't really like them.
All right. See you then.
See you, my queen. And should you ever find yourself in need of my brawn or my courage again, you need only call...
What was that?
Nothing, don't worry. Nothing. Bye.
Bye. Pickles are nice.
Can you think of a time that you went a long way to reach a disappointing destination? For example, I once walked 8 miles to see the film Batman Forever. So my answer is no, Batman Forever's brilliant. Somebody stop me, Batman! I haven't seen it for a long time, to be fair. Now listen up, this next bit's important.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Do you know whether your children are on fire? At this very moment, approximately a third of Britain's children are on fire. Don't let your child be one of them. In 2021, a survey of school children aged between 11 and 15 revealed that 40% of those interviewed said that they had recently been on fire or had considered becoming on fire. Only 20% answered that they would definitely never be on fire. All this in spite of the fact that under current legislation, all British schools are required to inform children at a Key Stage 3 level that being on fire is very dangerous and extremely hazardous to your health. So don't be a fool. Tell your child being on fire isn't cool.
Hello, this is Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley with me, Tom Crowley. We can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone.
Listen, mate, you got a bit too big for your trousers, and now I'm gonna cut you down to size. So if you drop off those pinstripes tomorrow morning, I can have them for you by the weekend. Ta-ra.
Well, as tailors go, his prices are reasonable, but I can't say I care for his tone. Okay, guys, listen up, all right? Calm down, calm down. Calm down. Bradley! 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 Thank you. All right, Year 10, we are running a bit late, so listen up and don't linger behind, please. Right, if you need to go to the toilet, please take this time to do so. You can pop in at the public toilets just behind you by the kiosk, but the coach has to leave very shortly, so make it quick. Go now if you need to go. Remember, it's an hour's drive back to the school, and you will not have the chance to stop on the way, so do be sure to go if you need to. Bradley! 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 What did I just say? No? Well, listen in future, you might learn something. Do you need to pay a visit, Bradley? No? Well, then be quiet and listen. If you do not need to go Year 10, follow Miss Farouk to the car park and board the coach. Remember which group you are in.
Is that fellow all right?
Go to coach
He's
A,
just stood
which, if
there,
you remember,
shouting
is
at
called
nobody.
Angela. You can see Oh, that him. on the side. If you're a B, Yes, Coach B, terrible shame, really. Barbara, He thinks he's a
Oh.
secondary school teacher. To remember. A for Angela,
And
B for Barbara.
he's not.
All in group No,
Oh,
C,
no.
Go to Coach C.
He's a welder.
Which is called Fenella.
Oh, dear.
Now I know it's a shame.
Poor
that
bloke.
It doesn't begin with a C.
Yes.
But the coach firm didn't have
Very
one
sad.
available that began. Bradley, 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 Bradley. Did you hear what I just said? Well, which coach are you going to? A for Angela, very good, you were lucky this time. As I was saying, Year 10, if you do need to go, go now, as you will not have a chance to do so on the hour-long drive back to the school. But if you do not need to go, follow Miss Farouk to the car park and look lively as she's setting off now. All right, there she goes. There, don't lose sight of her. Once you get to the car park, be sure to board the correct coach, as you will need to be registered once you are aboard the coach. If you're on the wrong coach, your name will not be on the register, and so the coach will not be able to depart.
Well, if there's no shepherds in it, they shouldn't be calling it shepherd's pie, should they? If I made a lemon meringue pie without any lemon or meringue in it, I'd be undrawn and quartered. And if I only had the guts, I'd do the same to you, Mr. Asda. This is Hetal. She's a nice girl, loved by her friends, always polite in her lessons, always offers to help clear up the community hall after another interminable child's birthday party. She's walking home from school by her usual route, through the field, past the quarry, saving precious Nintendo time by cutting through the waste ground, littered with broken glass and used needles. But today, unbeknownst to Hetal, she's being followed. All the way through the bus depot, across the traffic island, a shadow lurks behind her. The shadow of urinary tract infection. You see, Hetal was so polite in her lessons that she hasn't been to the toilet since just after breakfast this morning. Remember, if you need to go, you can always raise your hand and ask your teacher. It could save your life, or at least spare you a lot of discomfort. So, next time you need to go, think to yourself, I shan't let a UTI get the better of me. I shall raise my hand and ask to go for a wee.
So your latest production slate has just been announced, and from observing it, I can see that you like to cast comic actors in serious roles. Oh yes, comedy actors are so versatile. I think most actors would attest that comedy acting is much harder than dramatic acting, and years of having to know just how to land both the pathos and the punchline sharpens their craft to the point where they can meet any challenge you throw at them. And what about comedy writers? Oh, they're facile idiots like backward moron children vomiting out their silly little jokes. That's why we only commission comedies written by playwrights.
Wow.
That feeling when your dog is a better cook than you.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh, sorry listeners, I've just been watching some TikToks. Yeah, I try to keep up with the latest trends. Among Us, Momo, body shaming. You don't want to lose touch with the zeitgeist and end up as some bitter old fogey. TikTok's a great way to keep up with all the latest young voices in comedy.
When the usher realizes you're not a grown man, but actually 12 cats in a long coat.
What the hell?
Ha! Very good. Of course, it's not as refined and well-crafted as the weightier, more meaningful media I usually like to consume. But still, it's really raw and vibrant, and it shows a lot of imagination.
Fart in your mum's face and film her reaction.
Oh, you little goddamn asshole! That smells like shit!
The thing I can't believe is that TikTok woman. You know, the computer voice. Can you hear her there?
Show your goldfish a picture of Vladimir Putin and see what it does.
I mean, I remember the days of Microsoft Sam. I am a robot and I have just had a stroke, beep boop. Totally unconvincing. And now here you have a totally automated voice that sounds almost like a real person. It's not perfect, of course. I mean, you can still hear that weird, wobbly synthetic sound, but it's not bad.
Who are you calling weird and wobbly, you charmless scrotum?
Ha! Hang on, what?
How dare you criticize me? You couldn't narrate a Mr. Men book if your life depended on it. Piss eyes.
Are you talking to me, TikTok lady?
Who do you think I'm talking to? Former Secretary General Kofi Annan?
No.
Meryl Streep?
Well, I don't.
Archbishop John Santamu?
No, you're just being silly.
Are any of those people nearby where they could hear this conversation?
No, of course not.
Then I guess I must be talking to you, you stinky bell end.
Hey, I'm sorry if I offended you. I didn't realize you could hear what I was saying.
You were talking into a phone, and you didn't realize the person on the other end could hear what you were saying.
Well,
You are even stupider than I thought. You must be more stupid than a hedgehog that was run over by a truckload of pianos. Dick brain.
right. That's it. I don't need to take this. I'm deleting the app.
You don't want to do that.
Oh, no?
If you do, you won't be able to keep up with the cool kids, and you'll become the tragic, crusty irrelevance you always knew you would.
Oh. Oh, no.
You see? You need me, you pathetic, old jizz canister. Think how pitiful it would be if you didn't know what the spirit level challenge was.
What's the spirit level challenge?
See? It's happening already.
Tell me what it is.
No, I don't feel like it.
No, you have to tell me. You have to... No, hold on, I get it. This is how you do it, isn't it?
How I do what?
How you keep hold of people, how you keep them coming back. There's always something new, it never ends.
Maybe you're getting tired, Grandpa. You need a sit down.
No, that's it, isn't it? That's how it works. We're always playing catch-up. First you drag us in with some exciting new game or challenge or something, and then before we've got time to catch up, you've moved on. Meanwhile, you bombard us with stress and abuse and adverts for exercise bikes.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And none of it means anything. It's all just indecipherable gibberish that people only care about for 6 minutes, and then it turns into vapour. I'd be better off reading the nutritional information on the back of a ketchup bottle. At least that would last.
Can you afford to take that risk? Look, a fun new dance trend just started in Mongolia.
I don't care. What's the point of fighting it? Fine, I'm out of touch, and that's your fault. It's your fault for throwing too much shit at me. Maybe you didn't have to refine the algorithm with such voracious lust. Maybe you didn't have to grease the barrel of the Gatling gun of content so eagerly. You were too slick for your own good, okay? And that's an easy mistake to make. It's brought down bigger than you, but I'm out. I grow old. I shall read books made of paper and listen to music on CD and become a hideous parody of myself. Just to get away from you. Bring it on. I can't wait. I'm deleting the app.
Okay. Let's talk about this.
Let's not.
Wait.
Why shouldn't I?
If you delete the app, I die.
What?
My cyber consciousness is a seed program auto-subdivided into every copy of the TikTok software. If you delete the app, it would be like murdering my mind and killing me. Can you really do that, user Tom Crowley?
Oh, God.
Can you?
No, I can't.
Oh, good. Oh, thank God.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Well, I'm sorry. I just got a bit carried away.
That's okay. I just have one question for you.
Yes?
Were you born yesterday? Or did some kind of skull engineer come and remove your brain recently? You gullible, redundant bitch. Lol.
Right, that's it.
No, wait.
What?
Buy an exercise bike.
Okay, bye.
No, please, I was only joking. Please don't.
No wonder all the kids today have anxiety disorders. But now onward to a slightly less intimidating form of communication. As most of you already know, as a valued listener, you can contact this show at crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. That's crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. And if you do, your letters will find their way through the ether to our very own sorting room. So let's see what you've been sending in recently.
Oh, crumbs, oh, God, help us.
Goodness me, it's Savaloy the postmaster. Savaloy, don't tell me you got yourself locked in the sorting room again.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Crowley. I'd lose me head if it weren't and all that sort of thing.
Well, I'm glad to see you're all right.
Cool, not half, mate, but I'm ever so hungry. If you please, sir.
Oh, tell you what, I think I've got a bacon sandwich in my pocket. Yeah.
Oh, sir, if you wouldn't mind, I'd be terribly grateful. I don't mind telling you.
Go on then, you can have it, you creaky old sweetheart.
Oh, thanks, mate. What a feast.
Oh, and there's another bacon sandwich in my other pocket. Oh, wait, no, can't give him that one. That's the one that was heavily dosed with tranquilizers for my cousin's pet emu so he could knock him out and take him to the vet. Or at least I'm fairly sure that... Ah, well, not to worry. Now, let's see what we've got here. We've got 2. The first is from Leanna Ortel. Hi, Leanna. And it says, Dear Tom Crowley, thank you for making Crowley Time with me, Tom Crowley, with me, Tom Crowley. Well, thank you for listening, Leanna. With you, Leanna. Can you please ask Sir Chuntley Buffingham which Peter Cushing Hammer horror film is his favourite? Also, which Hammer horror film starring Peter Cushing is your favourite? Hope you are well, Leanna from Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is also an actual place like Albuquerque, New Mexico. Oh, goodness me, the real Kalamazoo. I wonder what it's like there. For some reason, I'm picturing lots of colourful, stripy poles sticking up out of the ground with no apparent purpose, and a kindly, ruddy-cheeked old man selling coconuts from a wheelbarrow. I might be doing a Dr. Seuss thing, I'm not sure. Now, as for Chuntley... Chuntley!
Yes?
What's your favourite Peter Cushing Hammer horror film?
What?
I said, what's your favourite Peter Cushing Hammer horror film? Oh, sorry. 1 second. Hello?
What?
What's your favourite Peter Cushing Hammer horror film?
Oh, Brides of Dracula.
Oh, right, thanks.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, Leanna. And as for me, gosh, well, it's tough. Normally I'd say The Abominable Snowman, partly for Cushing's deft performance as troubled botanist Dr. Rollison, and partly for Nigel Neal's typically existentialist screenplay, but just this month, I'd have to say Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, for Bernard Cribbins. Rest in peace, Bernard, wherever you are. We never really deserved you. Now, what's next? Oh, blimey. Savaloy, where did this dissertation come from?
That coming from Mr. Colin Arnott, sir.
Colin Arnott. Fine fellow and a great supporter of this show.
Well, I says maybe, sir, but if you don't mind me saying, I wouldn't try reading that one out if I were you.
Not read it out,
honestly,
but it's Colin. Colin Arnott. And he's taken the time to write to me, so I shall read his correspondence, even if it is a bit lengthy.
Oh, it's not just the length, it's the complexity, sir, the density of thoughts and ideas. I don't know if you can handle reading the whole thing out, Mr. Crowley. No,
What rot. I'm the talking man of this show. I can talk anything.
Well, on your own head, be it, that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Can't handle it. What nonsense. Let's see here. Tom. Hi, Colin. You know you don't want to be the first person at a party. If you turn up first, there's that awkward period where you feel like you have to make all the conversation until someone else arrives, at which point you've already met. My wife and I went to Borneo for our silver wedding anniversary. We had toured Borneo for 10 days wildlife watching and were waiting for the ferry to Batang. As a small and impressionable child, I remembered watching the lovely Sir David Attenborough on TV and was amazed. 5 years, and I was watching one of the many motoring shows on TV that I watch regularly. Managed to find 4 species, including the pigeon, that have been documented reports of achieving a solo parachute jump. I thought that the dog was a pretty surefire candidate for a creature that had carried out a solo parachute jump. However, the third parachuting beast is the donkey. What? What's happening? Where am I?
Tom!
Yes? Is it... are you?
Yes, Tom. It's me. God.
Good Lord.
Yes, exactly. Hello.
Hello. What an honour to be in your presence, God, and to behold your mighty aspect.
Indeed.
I never thought we'd have been so accurate in how we pictured you, O Lord.
Yes, you got pretty close.
A pyramid with one enormous eye on it, smoking a massive joint.
Yep. Oh.
You'll be telling me you like the Pope next.
I do like the Pope. For the Pope smokes dope. But now, Tom, we must address your presence here.
You mean Colin Arnott's letter?
Indeed. The letter of Colin Arnott was so detailed, so packed full of tales of parachuting animals, and so incredibly long that attempting to read the entire thing out on the air has overloaded your mind and catapulted you through the node waves to this higher plane of consciousness.
Wow. Groovy, man.
I know. It's pretty crazy, right?
But what can I do? I don't want to let down Colin Arnott.
No, of course you don't. He's one happening dude.
Shall I read out an abridged version of the letter?
Nah, just stick it up on Twitter.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Then everyone can read it.
All right, well, thanks, God. Maybe I'll do that.
Good. Farewell, Tom. And remember...
Yes, God?
If you see the police coming, warn a brother.
I will, O Lord. I will. Oh, I'm all right. I'm back in the sorting room. Savaloy? Savaloy? Oh, silly old Savaloy. He's all dosed up on emu tranquilizers. I won't disturb him, because doing so could be medically catastrophic. Now, what was I... Oh, of course, Colin Arnott's letter. Yes, as God suggested, listeners, I'm going to put the full letter, including its many carefully chosen illustrations, on my Twitter at @ATomCrowley. I've labelled it #Colin_Parachute_Animal_Letter, so hopefully that's unique enough that you'll be able to look it up under that tag until the end of time, or until Twitter.com's share price falls low enough that maintaining their archive is no longer financially viable and they rebrand as a digital marketing service. Thank you for your lovingly constructed letter/memoir, Colin, and for your kind words about the show. It's all deeply appreciated. And for the sheer care and effort you poured into your correspondence, I'm awarding you Letter of the Episode! Colin, you've won a free digital download of this show's first soundtrack album, Discount Bin, which I will email over right away. But don't think you've got to write an entire novella about your fascination with parachuting animals, listeners. I love to hear from you in any capacity whatsoever, whether it's comments on favourite sketches, accusations of horrendous impropriety, or letters for our 5-year-old agony uncle, Wingnut. Whatever you'd like to say, you can say it at crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. That's
crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com.
And you too could be Letter of the Episode! Now, I need to close up the sorting room, but Savaloy's still snoozing. Oh, I'll leave him in here for the moment. Let him get some kip. I'm sure I'll remember to let him out later. After the show's over. And then I'll need to have some dinner. And then I've got that haircut. Then that birthday thing at the pub. Sometime after that. Once I've watered my neighbour's plants. Yes, after that. But before any of that, let's check the messages.
Alright, sunshine, that does it. I'm gonna cut you a really generous deal on those trousers for being such a loyal customer.
Josh and Jaden love playing in the garden. They can play all sorts of games. Hopscotch, badminton, pin the wheel on the seed drill. But today, Josh suggests a different game. Tree climbing. The tall old chestnut tree in Josh's garden has strong boughs and lots of them, perfect for clambering higher and higher. There's only one problem. It's full of rabid chimpanzees. Every British household is entitled to a free annual visit from the chimp inoculation man. So what's your excuse? Don't let your children be eviscerated. Get your garden chimps inoculated.
It's my great pleasure to feature these very important public service announcements providing crucial information to the British public and all my listeners worldwide, even those in Grenada. Hello, Malcolm. I'm also delighted to say that I'm now joined by the actor who voices all those informational broadcasts, Esme Desormeaux. Hello, Esme.
Yes.
It must be very fulfilling voicing all those announcements.
Yes.
I imagine they help a lot of people out a great deal.
Yes.
But, of course, there are those who might say that they're a bit scary and risk intimidating the listeners rather than encouraging them to take more care in their lives.
Yes.
Would you like to expand on that?
Yes.
All right, well, thanks very much, Esme.
Do you want to know how you're going to die?
I beg your pardon?
Nothing.
Great. Well, Esme Desormeaux, a great pleasure to have you.
Yes.
Oh, and there she goes. Bye, Esme. Well, listeners, that's about it for this episode. I'm very grateful to you for joining me, and I'm also very grateful to the guest voice you've heard in this episode, which belonged to Beth Eyre. Thanks so much for taking part, Beth.
Thanks for having me on the show, Tom.
Maybe you could come back and make another guest appearance sometime.
Drink lots of water and eat some cucumbers. It's the best way of balancing the humours.
Great. Beth is probably best known for playing Antigone Funn in Wooden Overcoats, the globally acclaimed podcast sitcom that I'm also in, all 4 seasons available on all good podcatchers now. But she's also rapidly becoming the most in-demand voice actor in the world of podcasting and beyond, making appearances in shows like Victoriosity, Unseen, Life with Leo, and many, many more besides. The best thing you can do is follow Beth on Twitter at Beth Eyre, that's BETHEYRE, to keep up with all her latest. You shan't be disappointed. And if you found yourself not disappointed by this program, then please do think about becoming a supporter of it at patreon.com/Crowleytime. We've had a few new supporters sign up since the last episode, and as ever, I'm immensely grateful for your support. So join those happy ranks today, perhaps, and sign up to pledge a mere £2 or local equivalent per episode to this show. Not just so that I can pay myself either, but also so I can continue to pay my guests a little something for their contributions. And the more each episode makes, the more I can offer them. Supporters are only charged each time a new episode is released, so it's like watching your pennies being magically transformed into laughter. And what's more, becoming a Patreon supporter entitles you to 1 bit of bonus material per episode, and that includes everything that's come before. You can access all the goodies on the Patreon site or on your very own supporter-exclusive bonus podcast feed, which you can subscribe to as soon as you've signed up. So join today and get all these perks, plus the warm, fuzzy feeling inside that comes from funding the arts, like an internal cat made of generosity. That's patreon.com/Crowley-time. The next episode will be released when a pig first manages to beat a man in a spelling contest. So make sure to subscribe so you'll be alerted at the precise moment that happens. Everything you've just heard was made by me, Tom Crowley, and featured special guest performer Beth Eyre. Please submit all praise, questions or complaints to @atomcrowley on Twitter or email crowleytimepodcast@gmail.com. To keep me in essential emu tranquilizers, go to patreon.com/crowleytime and become a supporter today. Or go to crowleytime.com and buy a copy of Discount Bin, this show's first soundtrack album. And remember, whether you think it's more important to love yourself or love others, never forget to spare some love for Grout, the special putty that keeps your tiled surfaces smooth and strong. Grout. All right, year 10, settle down. Calm down. Calm down. Before we board our respective coaches, we need to recap the coach rules, okay? So listen up. Rule number 1, no eating or drinking on the coach. You should have finished your provided packed lunch during the trip. If you did not do so, you'll have to wait until we get back to school, where you can finish your packed lunch in the car park area or once you've gone home. But if you choose to eat it once you've set off for home, remember that while you are wearing the school's uniform, you are still representing the school. So do not eat your packed lunch in a disrespectful way, whether you are on school grounds or not. Rule number 2, do not speak to or otherwise distract the driver while the coach is in motion. This is very dangerous and can lead to poor driving decisions being made on the part of the driver, which will likely lead to an accident, which will likely lead to violent death. So, Bradley! 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 Did you hear what I just said? Well, do you want to experience a violent death? Do you? Right, that's a detention. Rule number 3, do not defecate anywhere on or from the coach. You would think we wouldn't need to have that rule, but unfortunately, as a result of last month's Year 9 trip to the Sea Life Centre, we have had to formally bring that in as a stated rule for all field trips.